You know that amazing feeling when you finally sit down or you take a walk in the garden and the whole space around you just feels right? And it's not because it's perfect, but because it's you. This little garden is where I catch my breath. It's the herbs for the tea when I don't feel the greatest, or even the tomatoes for snacking when I just don't feel like cooking. And also the flowers that bloom just because they make me happy and I cannot wait to see them every single day. It is not about following some design plan or planting rules. It's about knowing what actually matters to you and making space for it, even when life's loud and messy, especially in the city. This isn't some big backyard escape. It's just 16 of an acre, but it fits me, it holds me, and it reminds me that I'm home.
Hi, I'm Melba, and if you don't know, I grow a ton of vegetables and flowers in probably a little bit over the 16th of an acre. I barely have any space here. Everybody thinks it's a huge garden, but it's not. It is so small, and I'm here to tell you that you can have vegetables, you can have flowers, you can have cozy space with plenty of sitting areas for your family and for you to have tiny private space and have an amazing time in a garden that's a suburban garden with neighbors on top of you, and I love it. I even raise quails for my eggs, so it's a little tiny homestead that we enjoy every single summer. So if you want to learn from container garden to how to create privacy to how I plan all of this space, go ahead and look at the links below because I show everything. I have a seasonal gardening playlist and it shows from beginning in spring until now, and I also have other playlists that show you about design. So I show you how I designed this garden, why I designed it, and why I laid it out the way I did. So for now, I'll show you the two main spaces. They are the largest spaces that I have, but I'll show you exactly the layouts and everything I have in it. So if you want to watch it and watch even more content to do with this garden, go ahead and see below and join me on the tour. So right next to the patio is a little ark, and it has the Bathsheba rose. This is from David Austin. It is so beautiful. It's actually at the end of the first flush, so the roses are not as bright as they were. But this year it's grown so much. I think it's been here for like 2 years. Maybe this is the third year. This is going on the third year. And it is doing amazing. It's like almost going around the whole arc. It's already almost on the other side, but it's doing really well. And this is what introduces you to the kitchen garden. And in the kitchen garden, I have a little sitting area and the raised garden beds. But before I show you that, this arc just has done so well. It looks really beautiful. It softens everything really nicely, and you can tell I have a trellis here, and this is a wood trellis. It's very organic looking. I want it to be very different from the metal arc, but I transfer some of the stems that grow into here, and I just placed them horizontally. My roses horizontally, if you can see the branches, I'm making them horizontal so they flower more, and it's really working. I have to like start tying up this one. I really enjoy seeing them come out. And then I have a hydrangea down here. It's like a lace type hydrangea, and if you can see, it's a blue color. It's so beautiful, but it's just starting to come out. And behind it is a topiary, which I have to trim it and shape it. But I like having that dark green anchor next to the free-flowing roses. I think it just really helps the corner to be anchored in. And I have a green stalk right here, and this also is another video. I'll link all the videos below of all the different areas, but I did this shorter this year, the green stalk, and I placed a little topper on it, and the video shows you all of that. I wanted something a little different and a little less maintenance for me, and that has worked. So this little corner is all different pots, and it's a rock garden, as you can see, and it's next to the quail coop here. So it's kind of a little cozy corner. It feels really nice, and then the hydrangea kind of softens the whole look. And next to the quail coop, there's another green stalk. It's more salad greens. I need to go ahead and get some new ones in because I had to take out a couple of things that bolted when it got super hot here. And I have the topper on this one also, and this is a tiny little rose. I have a rose that I just prune everything, and it's gonna start giving new roses here in the future. This beautiful evergreen, I just love it there. I do have to trim it back because it's getting a little fat, so that's one of the goals I have, because I have a rose right back there and I need the sun to hit that corner a little more. But this frames in the kitchen garden the entry into the secret garden here.
In the kitchen garden, I have 3 Vigo garden beds, and 2 of them are 42 inches round, and I think the one on the back is like a 2 foot by 8 feet long. And this is all I can fit in my little garden, but I grow quite a bit on it right now. I have a orange accordion tomato on one with the trellis, and then on the other one, I'm growing a costoluto tomato, and it works out really well with the trellis. I seem to grow plenty. On the back, I have 2 more trellises that grow some eggplants on it. But yeah, I'm growing a ton of food, and I think that 3 beds gives you so much that you're able to grow in your home if you have a tiny bed. But using trellises really just helps anchor whatever you're growing in the bed and be able to kind of define one and then grow everything around it. This is my Emily Bronte, and she did flower already. So I need to do some trimming and just clean it all up. But it's growing a little bit tall because the sun doesn't hit it until late in the afternoon, probably 2 or so. So I need to trim it and shape it better. It's not looking that great. I have one on the front yard that's doing amazing. The shape is beautiful. It's full of flowers, but it gets sun all day long. So this one I moved this spring from a different location, so that's also why it's not doing that great. And I have a couple of pots in here. I am going to plan to add some more flowers to that area. And then these 2 pots that are tier pots in front of the long bed, I'm growing some micro tomatoes and some herbs and some super busy my petunias, just to add more things to layer within the bed and just break up that long bed, because it's pretty big. The Vigo beds are gigantic, and I like breaking it down. And then I have this beautiful beach tricolor tree, I think it's called, and it's stunning. I took out all the branches as it was growing because I knew eventually I wanted to add some pots to hang there. And they're doing so good. I love the look of having 2-layer pots. Baskets, not pots, 2 pots. Oh my gosh, I keep saying that. 2 hanging baskets. But if you see, look at the leaves. They're like a pink layer color. Now, I do have to warn you, if you get this tree, it does have an issue with woolly aphids. So if you look underneath, I don't know if you can see it, I do have an issue with it getting woolly aphids. So it takes long to open in the spring because of all the rain. Now, the birds love this tree because they keep eating the aphids on it. So they tend to hang out on the street, and I think it's helped with it opening earlier this year, and it's absolutely stunning. But it makes a little cozy corner here, the color, and with the baskets, it adds a whole another layer. And I need to like add some summer flowers, which are gonna be next, including on this pollinator garden. I have the bunny that's eating a ton of my seedlings. And I think I'm gonna have to get like some dahlias that are grown that are shorter to add in here for summer, because between the slugs and the bunny, they're pretty much eating everything. So this spot I am going to be working on next. It needs quite a bit of help, and that's okay. Stuff doesn't work out always the way we plan, so it'll be even better when it's all done with the summer.
And this year I ended up placing these trellises. They're metal trellises. And I had this rose here. It's a red rose that's been here for years, and it's absolutely stunning, but it wasn't doing well because I didn't have a trellis or anything, and the climbing rose needed just something to hold it. It's so beautiful. Really a gorgeous rose, and it grows in clusters, but it just has so many petals, and I'm not a big red color person. But next to this whipping tree, I think this is a redwood, and it is stunning. The color, both of those, so I have that yellowish color with the red, and then you have this tri-color tree, and the three of them look so pretty together. This has such a shiny dark leaf that against the yellowish tone of the tree, it looks incredible. And then I have a fire pit container that I put some plants in, and I need to plant some summer plants in there because I still have the pansies there. And another rose bush here. I don't know the names of all these roses. If I find them, I'll put them on the screen for you. But this is one of the original roses that I had here when we first moved in, probably the first few years. And right now it's almost at the end of the first flush, but you can see how gorgeous. Let me move out of the way. It's a really pretty color, very bright orange, just so pretty. When it's first blooming, it looks like lights, but I do have to clean it up some so that it starts getting strength for more blooms. And this is the pond area, and here's a miniature maple, and it's on this stone that I'm resting the pot, and I love it. It has this little thyme growing from it. Oh, the little bird fell. There's a little bird my mom gave me, but I love this little corner here, and it's just going over this pond. And we just make this from a container, a trough, and just lined it with some bamboo and put some stones on the edge, and then repeat it on the back, where it gives us a little more privacy, but it also allows something in the whole background so it looks a little more anchored the area. And I have a clematis growing right here. I have a second clematis that I planted last year, and it's for summer, and I'm hoping it will come. It's actually growing towards the neighbor. I need to pull it back so that it starts getting around this whole thing. These are all spring clematises. And then here's a tree of the hydrangeas. I just love hydrangea trees because in a small garden they don't take a lot of space, so you have the whole bottom to go ahead and plant below. But what I love is that this is much higher, so you can see it from far away, and this is beautiful when it blooms. I have some grasses. This is my white sage. It's in a pot. I just love it. It's like a year old. And I have a pot over there with ground cherries, and another one right here. But you can see I have a grass here that's kind of yellow, and then this one that's more wispy, more like structure in the leaf. So it just adds a nice softness to the pond. I love this whole little corner.
Right in front of the pond, I have my absolute favorite little area. It's super cozy. I added this table right here and then built a frame so that it feels even more cozy. Just adds another natural layer to it. And I am growing a vine on it. I'll show you the vine in a little bit. But this is perfect because it's right in front of the pond, so you get the noise of the pond, and you can sit here, have tea, or do some writing, or whatever you like to do. But it is just super nice in the morning. And here's the vine I'm growing. I did do a plant haul, and I have this in there. I don't recall the name, but it grows really fast, and those yellow buttery flowers will hopefully tangle all through onto the top. It will be absolutely stunning. I just cannot wait to see how that looks. It will be really pretty. I have these flowers everywhere, just different color. I have an orange, this one. I have some that are pink. If you're looking for something that grows really fast, these black-eyed Susan vines are perfect. And then this little light, I found that at the dollar store, which I'm going to do a not a plant haul, a haul of things that I bought there. I was amazed. But it doesn't have anything fancy on it, which I love because I want to be able to see past it. I didn't want something to be like the focal point there and stop your eye. Now you see the pond and it's not about the lamp. But now it's a solar light and I get some light in the evening and it just looks really pretty. I cannot wait to see it when the vines grow. I think it's gonna be just so pretty.
And right to the left of the table, I also did a video on this, but I have a little herb garden, and this is for my tea and then snacks with little micro tomatoes. But this is to be able to have some herbs and vegetables right in one pot. So I did a little tier pot to be able to plant a little more. And then on the bottom you can see that I have some succulents and they're about to start blooming, these white flowers, which are really pretty. And I have some creeping Jenny that I've had growing here because I wanted the edge to kind of grow along here. But let me show you. So the only thing I have to work right now is on this pot here, which I got this succulent, large succulent here that I have to pot on there. That's part of what I'm gonna work on next. But everything in this corner for summer is pretty good. I may add some more things to these beds. Some more basil and things that I can plant. So I may fill that up a little more. But for now, I think I'm happy where this is going, and this is the whole kitchen garden.
As you cross the arch with the flowers, we have the patio area, and this is where we gather most of the time in the morning, having coffee and just having the fire pit on. The great thing here is that you can have the fire pit on. It's middle of June and we're still using it. It's pretty chilly in the morning. But my husband built me this planter years ago, probably 5-6 years ago. He also made the trellises, which are just a wood trellis with cattle fencing. And then on the left side, I have the little porch steps that we just did. We added a mosaic finish to them. And that's where I have my container garden.
So right next to the little herb garden that I show you in the pot is this one, and this has different levels. This is a lower level. I like to grow the salad greens on it in the summer because it has a little bit more shade, but it has two sides that you can grow that are the same, and then this one is lower, and then that one is a little higher, and it's just a really long skinny bed. This is mostly where I grow in the summer my beans, which I already placed some seeds, and then on this side I have the cucumbers that I grow on this trellis, and it's a pretty tall trellis, but it works quite nicely. And then behind are just some evergreen, give some privacy to the whole area of the patio, and they've grown pretty well, and we haven't had any issues with it, and they don't grow so big that they take a ton of space. I do have a privacy video that I will also link, and it shows you every single element I've used to create privacy on this tiny garden, and so that it feels super cozy. And that has a lot to do not only with the perimeter but with the planning on how I laid out this space with different elements like this rose, the arch on for the rose, and the trees that anchor the space and that provide some of the privacy, but also some of the elements of sitting areas and things like that that I layer throughout. Just every single thing was really planned because I wanted to get some privacy because my neighbors are on top of us, so we had to be really careful how we laid this out. But right now I'm just growing pretty much the spring stuff that I had. I started already harvesting. I harvested a lot of salad greens, but I still have some Merlot lettuce, some romaine lettuce. These are all Merlot. And then I'm growing some snapdragons to add color to these, which I love. There's some nasturtiums and then some Suburban petunias on the corners. And right on the back in March, I think, I started this kohlrabi right here, and it's beautiful. It still needs some time, but it's doing really well. And here's some more snapdragons. Some of it is a little sick, so I'm gonna be putting some spray that I do with turmeric and a little neem oil because I think there's something going on, some curling that's not normal. But once I get all this out, I'll be putting other things. I started doing some peppers behind there. You can't see them right now, but I'll be adding some more peppers to this bed. And then behind this screen I have this Floribunda white rose, and it's also a tree. I like a lot of roses to be trees because they don't take a lot of space. But I love this rose. I always get repeat bloomers on my roses because in small gardens you want repeat bloomers. I don't like anything that's not blooming. I don't have the space for that. But again, I will link that video. It tells you the video exactly how I grow my roses, and that's one of the main things that I do. Then I have some cauliflower here. This is purple cauliflower, and they're doing so good. And I have some alliums growing here, which I'm about to take out, and I'm gonna be planting some flowers here on the back, which I think will look so pretty against the green of the background. Then as you move down, this is a little pot that I always have something growing, and I just mostly grow a lot of flowers. I have some pansies from the spring, alyssum, and then I have this beautiful clematis that I planted last year, and this year is starting to bloom like crazy. It has so many flowers. This is a Seaboldy. So beautiful. The Seaboldy is beautiful even when it opens, because once it starts opening, it's like a green color on the perimeter, and then when it opens it turns into white. I just love all stages. I even love when it's on this stage. Such a beautiful clematis. And then I keep a tray right here with all the things that I use daily, my gloves, which I have in a little basket, and then things that I need to prune, so that it's easy for me to get to them, and I can even carry this tray wherever I'm working. And then back here, I'll go through this, but this is my flower patch, which is also my dahlia patch. In the corner, I do have a green stalk, the first green stalk I ever got. And I kept this one at full height because it's in full sun. And I plant, you see how the lettuces are starting to bulb, so I'm going to be taking that out, give it to the quails, and I will plant some peppers, micro tomatoes, things like that I do better in here. And over here I have a couple of clematises that grow in the spring, and then I have another one that I believe is growing. It's going to be a summer bloom, but I am not sure. I think I see it where it's going to be blooming, but I'll have to wait and see until it gets a little warmer to see if we have anything. But I feel like it is going to, because I kind of see like a little bud in some places like this. So we'll see if we get other blooms. And then this is a maple tree. I love this tree so much. It gives us so much privacy, and I love the way it moves with the wind. It's probably my favorite tree. Oh, you're welcome, my Decor, you pretty. She got all excited that I said she was beautiful. But I hung a little basket this year and a little heart made out of wood. And I had this already here, and I just did a really large petunia. And I added this whole area, again, it's on another video, where I redid this whole area to be my compost area, but I added a lot of pots around because I wanted to have flowers and feel like I wanted to come here and take care of it. I didn't want it to look utilitarian. I just wanted it to look like it was part of the garden. So this flower, let's see, is called Gazania, and I got it for free at an event, and it is so pretty. It's already dying there, but if you see next to it, isn't that pretty? I love that. So I love this area now. It's super cozy. Here's the clematis, and my favorite thing is this Buddha. My husband and my mother gifted me this huge Buddha that probably weighs like 300 pounds. This thing is heavy, and we placed it here. He's hiding. I keep pulling the clematises off of him, but he's laughing so hard, so I just think it's really funny. I just love him. He's pure solid concrete, so I just love how peaceful he just makes the garden look. I placed him on some stones, so he's on kind of like a little pedestal with stones, so he's a little higher. But he kind of makes this whole corner feel really magical, and it is really nice next to this maple. And again, this maple had branches all the way down, and I just started removing the branches so that I knew that I wanted to shape it like an umbrella and be able to hang baskets under it, and it has worked out really well. And I go every year and I trim some of the width, but you just have to be careful which maple you get, because I looked out, this one is just not that big. I think it grows to 15 feet or something like that, and then I'm able to maintain it by just trimming it back if I don't want it to. You know, I want sun in my yard because it's so tiny. And then let's go here, and this is my Dahlia patch that every year I change the look of it some, but this is one of the original roses I had. I think this is a David Austin. The fragrance on it is incredible. The color is not the most wow amazing, but it works really well for us because it really stands out in this corner. You can really see it from afar. And this year I've always had it with this cone trellis here, but this year I started wrapping it around the stems, and now this year is blooming like crazy. It has so many blooms. I have to go ahead and deadhead. If you don't deadhead, they don't come out as many, so I like to deadhead every few days, and I need to do that next. But if you can wrap your roses so that the main stem is horizontal, and it just is doing so much better than any previous year. I am super happy with it, and it looks so beautiful and peaceful, and I like the way it looks with that really large pink petunia on the basket on the floor, and then again next to this yellow marjoram. It just frames this really nicely against the stones. And then I have a hollyhock here, and this is kind of a champagne color. It's about to start blooming. I did that, I grew it from seed, and it just took off. It's doing really well. It's super round, which is great. It's the only one that's grown that round, so I'm excited to see the blooms when they come out. The stalks have not been really tall. Usually they're super tall. This one has grown nice and round, which makes me happy. I think it's more beautiful. And in the back is a hibiscus tree, the white and red little hibiscus flower. I placed that there. And then all these are seedlings that I planted. This one died. This was an aster I need to replace, but you can see all the dahlias, and I do have a video that shows every single thing that I planted here, most of everything, but how I plant this whole thing, where I have a little bit different of a layout than the previous years because I wanted different flowers. I just heard a bird and she's right there looking at me. Oh, she left. I wanted different flowers, so this year I did a lot of the really short dahlias on the front, and alyssum and other flowers to make it look a little more cottage. But I placed some like purple basil even here that grows really tall. So far it's doing so good, but you can tell I have a bunny in the garden, so I have everything covered because I'm afraid of the bunny. And here's isn't this pretty? This lavender is just, it's like a pink purple, really pretty one. But I did that on the console with another little Buddha, and then I have my sofa right there with a fire pit and a console where I'm growing different plants. And again, anything that you see here is on my playlist, because that console, I literally went one by one how I decorated that with everything that I pretty much had. I just bought flowers, but all the decorations were decorations I had already in my storage where I keep everything. This year I planted 2 dahlias here so that they're dinner plates, so they're gonna grow tall and be taller than the sofa hopefully, and I think that would look so pretty. And it's gonna be next to this Japanese maple here. It's another miniature one. And to this year also I went ahead and removed one of these Nandina and kept only one because I love that sunflower, and I wanted that to be next to the stone and next to this sort of yellow grass here to soften the corner, because this climbing hydrangea is stunning, but it's so dark, and it does have blooms. It has white blooms. I love it, but it's pretty dark, so I wanted something to like stand out and be sort of a highlight. And I think with the red of the Nandina and this yellow, it looks really nice. So I have now some cosmos on the back that grow 5 feet tall. I have some dahlias, some zinnias, asters, all sorts of stuff that's in that corner that's gonna look really nice when they grow. Well, let me show you. This is the arch, and this has been growing here. I think this may be the 4th year, but it has really gotten so big and solid, and this really makes this corner so cozy. And this is where I have my potting bench, one of them. I love this corner, and this year was the first year that it bloomed the white flowers. I don't know if you can see, but it has this little hanging white flowers on it. I went ahead and clean and trim this thing to shape it, and it looks so much better. I really love it. And then this is a little potting bench that I have here to just have some resources on it. I have another potting bench on my secret garden that's a little larger than this one that my husband built, but this is a great little sort of center point to have all my things in it. Like I keep this basket with things that I know I'm gonna use quite often. This I usually keep in my garage or the shed, but I just keep like worm compost and other little things that I may use throughout my gardening daily. But this goes into the entry garden. Let's go ahead and look at this little porch. And in the porch, we just redid this to this mosaic stone. It used to be this tile, and we got rid of it and made it a little more cozy. I had that tile for a while, so we installed that. And then we have these pots that have different flowers. On this one, I have Dahlia here. I think this is a peony Dahlia, so it will be really beautiful. I cannot wait to see that. That's a new one. And then on this one I have a hydrangea on the back. These are white hydrangeas. And then I did I think this is a café con leche I did here. I just planted this a few days ago, and I still have a few that this is how I start all my dahlias indoors. I still have those that I have to do. I had 3 bins full of dahlias, but they're all already planted. I just have to get these done. And then this is the corner where I keep all my bamboo sticks and anything that's for support. I just put a little screen of bamboo screen so that it sort of anchors that little corner. And here is the console where I have all my plants, and it just has that added layer of sort of cozy comfort on it. And this one has like roses. This is already dying. I have to go ahead and prune that, but I have a lot of different little flowers. Again, the video will show you every single flower I've planted throughout. I will link everything below, but I keep my hat down there. This one died. This was a pansy. When it got hot, it burned, so I got to replace that one. But all of these, if you saw that video where I planted all this, is doing really well, except for that head that got burned, the plant. But look how much is growing. It's doing so good. I still haven't painted this tray, but I do plan to paint that. And this is the rose that when I did that, I went and purchased this gorgeous rose, and it's a David Austin come James Galloway, and I don't know, it says it's 5 feet only to grow, but David Austin says it's way bigger, so I have no idea. But it is really cute, like a light sort of pink in the center. And this one I'm also sort of wrapping around this trellis. I wish the trellis was bigger. I don't have another bigger one. If I find one, I'm gonna get it. But I'm starting to sort of wrap this one around. So that is the patio.